So, in Hollywood, there's this thing called the MCU. A big box office record breaker pretty much every single time another movie comes out. Especially with its newest movie, Black Panther, already becoming like the third highest domestic grossing movie. That's impressive. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if any of this stuff could have happened. Because you want to know why? There was a movie that started all this. And that movie was Iron Man, made in 2008. And guys, this is a good way to start off a cinematic universe. Okay, most of you already know the story of Iron Man, but for those who don't, it's just as simple as a billionaire playboy philanthropist named Tony Stark. He sells weapons to the military, and well, one day he's kidnapped by terrorists, and one of his scientist buddies is also captured along with, and instead of making a weapon for the terrorists, which is what the terrorists wanted, they instead make a weapon so that way they can get out of there. Basically an entire suit made out of iron armor, and when his friend dies, Tony Stark has to escape, and then when he escapes, he vows to dedicate the rest of his life to saving people rather than creating weapons of warfare. So, instead of destroying, he's saving. And that's the premise of this movie. Now, for those who do not know the whole backstory behind Iron Man, I'm going to let you know this. Iron Man was actually not a A-lister in terms of Marvel Comics. He wasn't as famous as, let's say, Captain America or the Fantastic Four. But with this movie, not only did the character become an immediate success and an immediately A-lister, so did the actor. Because Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark might have been the best superhero casting of all time. And that's saying a lot. Because we have Christian Bale as Batman, we have Heath Ledger as the Joker, and guys, this was perfectly cast. And Robert Downey Jr.'s performance is absolutely phenomenal because it truly captures who Tony Stark as a person is. He's a snob, he's a playboy, he has such a humongous ego. His mindset is all about him, and the fashion, the life, and the thrill. And well, Robert Downey Jr. captured that in such a fantastic way. And he's the biggest show stealer in the entire movie. Another really good thing that I like about this is the story. I mean, I love the story of this movie. Though I don't think the story of Iron Man's backstory is as cool as, let's say, maybe Batman or Spawn, I do believe that Iron Man has a really cool backstory. And the story is set up very, very well, and it flows very well. Say for the third act. The third act does have a few pacing issues, but that's for later. Most of the story is very consistent, very flowing, and there are plenty of emotional moments that get us invested into the story, and the story was really well handled. But finally, here's the negatives. The movie itself is pretty good, but it does have quite a few negatives, though. Especially, as I just said, the third act has not the best pacing. This was kind of like the Force Awakens from Star Wars. As in, the first two acts were phenomenal, and then the third act, though at least fun, it's not as fulfilling as you want it to be. And the villain himself is kind of cartoony, and the villain doesn't work in this movie as well as, let's say, Heath Ledger as the Joker in The Dark Knight, or as Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier in Captain America the Winter Soldier. And, well, unfortunately, this is a recurring theme with Marvel, is that the villains are not the best. Now, whereas we get all of our heroes that are fleshed out and very interesting, our villains are mainly just... even though they're played by live-action people that you can go out and touch, they're so two-dimensional. It's kind of sad because this movie doesn't start off with a good villain. But, aside from that, I think that's just about it. So my overall consensus is that Iron Man is a very watchable movie. It has a great story, a very intriguing story, and has an excellent performance by Robert Downey Jr., but with some pacing issues here and there, and a villain that is really lackluster and very cliche and one-dimensional. I'm going to go ahead and give Iron Man a 7 out of 10. Well, there you go. There you have it. Iron Man, the very first MCU movie, is a pretty decent start to, in other words, explosive franchise. Because this movie has 18 movies, counting the newest movie coming out, Avengers Infinity War. And, well, guys, I am excited. I am absolutely excited. I cannot wait to go see that movie. And, dear God, it's going to be a blast. So, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever the heck time you're watching this. And, well, I can't wait till we get to the sequel, because luckily with this movie, they should have learned that all the problems in this movie can be... Are you f***ing kidding me? What do you want? I wanted to ask how it went. Yeah, it wasn't the best, to say the least. Well, I mean, at least you incapacitated him. At least I incapacitated him. What do you think that is to you? I guess I'd call it a success. That's not a success. Because you want to know what? Do you call this a success? Sir? Because I would not! I guess it's not one. I guess it's not a success. Put the gun down. This is no success. Nothing! Nothing! I'm gonna need this.